Hey everyone, this is Luminous coming to you guys with a pro to the commentary. This commentary is going to be between Panda versus IG. This is part of the best of 3 series between the two teams. This is game number 2, so if you haven't watched game number 1, I recommend you do so because that game was actually somewhat exciting, fairly exciting game, at least for how a Chinese game goes, right? So I do recommend you watch that game before we go into this one. And of course this is an AP remake, so I will be looking at both teams' heroes as we pause a little bit. So if you haven't watched game number 1, I recommend you do so right now because I'll be spoiling the results. IG took game number 1 fairly convincingly with Windrunner pick on Chuan, of course. We had a really good Panda pick. Gondor being played by YYF. So that was nicely done. Let's see what IG's got this game, right? Looks like Zoe's going to be playing the Faceless Void YYF on Gondor. Windrunner not being played by Chuan. It is 4:30 on the Windrunner. Chuan himself is going to be playing the support Prophet, and Faith is going to be on support Witch Doctor. So very interesting. Now obviously Chuan generally plays the support Windrunner, and given that now Ferrari is playing it, most likely we're going to see a little bit more farming role on the Windrunner. Let's see the divergence in terms of playing style, and maybe a divergence in terms of the accuracy of the shackle shots as well. We'll have to wait and see. On the other hand here, Panda has, of course, Panda themselves being played by Yao Bai. How the carry player is going to be playing Anti-Mage, Crystal Maiden being played by Shansheng, which by the way, really nice Crystal Maiden being played in game number 1. 8:30 is going to be on that Enigma, and then Mu on that Brewmother. Now in terms of laning and teamfight goals, I have to give the teamfight potential really to the favor of the Panda team. Obviously they have Panda, you split, you try to run, very difficult to run from a Brewmother who's under web, a very good slow and very good chasing with the blinks and stuns. Teamfight potential also in the sense that they have a black hole, and they have really high DPS output despite them they're being melee heroes, so they're gonna have a little bit of trouble in terms of chasing. Well, chasing in more, prolonged team fights. But for the most part, I feel like they have the advantage because of the ultimates. The Black Hole and the Panda split is just a little bit too much. But again, the high cooldown of these heroes can be taken advantage upon. On the other side here, we do have a pretty big AoE ultimates as well, of course, being in the fact of this Chronosphere plus the Death Ward. Do not underestimate the Death Ward. You have many valid targets that you do want to stun, namely the Gondar, namely the Faceless Void. That means that Faith will have a very easy time to channel for a long duration of the Death Ward, especially if the Faceless Void gets a really good Chronosphere down. So he could do a lot of damage of that. Of course, the ganking power of the Scourge team is not too bad. Furion with the global TPN, Shackle Shot plus Sprout, that is 5 seconds of chain stun if you land it all perfectly. It is just absolutely insane. Of course, YYF's Gondar is going to make a reappearance. He played a really decent game number 1, although his item set wasn't really flashy at the end of the game. He helped in a lot of team fight by tracking and giving them chasing movement speed. And again, this team chased like crazy. Bounce casting will be really annoying to deal with. Global TP, Windrunner plus Shackle Shot, track, and of course a time walk. A lot of chasing power as well. And both teams will have a lot of mobility when it comes to retreating and of course advancing as well. So not going to spend too much time on the pick and ban analysis. So let us unpause and go. Any interesting item choices so far? Nothing too out of the ordinary. Of course, just stable Sentry Ward and support a stable pair of Observer Wards. We're pretty much going to see the exact same thing on this side. Crystal Maiden opting to get both of them, and she is absolutely poor. No, she got handed by a pair of wards. Gonna buy us a little bit Tango. A lot of clarity is being traded off to the Enigma. I wonder if he's gonna go jungle. I assume he is. Anti-Mage probably gonna get the bot lane with Crystal Maiden. We're gonna see some type of jungling Enigma, and then Brewmother solo top, and then maybe Panda solo mid. Yeah, Panda solo mid is definitely not bad. He could go for the runes fairly easily and have a very reliable spell to push the wave and also do a little bit of AoE damage. Here on Scourge, roaming in the jungle very offensively now. This is a very common move to drop off a couple offensive wards, but teams nowadays have come to expect that, and thus they have things like Sentry Wards absolutely ready to go. So now of course the IG team knows that as well, so they're going to be dropping wards, in a somewhat obscure spots. The more common ward spot that you expect is like somewhere over here, but these two wards, yes, it is going to scout the rune over here and also going to block off a very crucial camp here as well. So that's going to really slow down Enigma's jungle. You can see his jungle is very sectioned off. He's going to have this patch of jungle over here, but then he won't be able to advance into this territory much later on with his Eidolons. Frostbite being immediately picked up by the Crystal Maiden. being level 1. Generally, you want to pick up Nova on CM, but it's okay, especially when against Windrunner, that isn't too bad. A little bit of harassment going on. Crystal Maiden got a fairly correct Frostbite, goes on the Prophet. Invisring gonna get snatched up immediately, and looks like Prophet's gonna TP all the way back to base for now. No, he's going to TP to a top lane by after taking so much damage. Looks like he's going to be a top solo. Furion mid is going to be a Witch Doctor plus Void. And on the bot lane here is going to be Gondar on the solo. Looks like Windrunner is going to go on the top lane as well. So long laning the Gondar, which is not that too out of ordinary because Gondar does have the ability to long lane, and now he's going to go up against Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is going to have absolutely free farm. He can out harass Gondar, given the fact that his mana burn is a very stable way to, well, it's better than Janata, let's just say that. So he could kind of out harass Gondar that way. Of course, he has a blink spell to escape, so that's pretty cool as well. Looks like mid lane is going to develop into a CM Panda versus a Witch Doctor Void. CM was, I thought he was going to go to bot lane, but seeing that there's a dual lane on the other side, probably smarter to put your dual lane there as well. And the freeze bite definitely not as effective in this lane now because you can freeze the Faceless Void, but he can still time walk out of that one. So Nova probably a little bit better, especially in terms of combining it with a Pandoran Brewmaster's AoE clap. But no big deal. He's going to hit level 2 fairly quickly. And you can say he's skilling attribute bonus right now. And he's going to skill attribute bonus just at level 2. And then back at level 4, he most likely will be going into a level of his Drunken Brawl. For a little bit of crit chance. Of course, evasion is not too bad as well. On the top lane here, it looks like we're going to have Furion doing a little bit of pulling and jungling as well. And it looks like Windrunner, of course, being played by 430 is going to get a little bit more solo EXP. And we have Mu trying to screw up a little bit pulling or whatever he's trying to do by messing it up. And yeah, I think that is going to mess it up for Chuan. So fairly nicely done here. Let's see if he's going to get the repull successfully. It looks like he is. So nicely done by Chuan there. Brewmaster is going to have a fairly easy time in this lane. You can say he's opted for the Poor Man Shield. That's going to block a lot of physical damage. There's a very difficult way that the Windrunner is going to out-push the Brewmother. But given that there's a Sentry Ward down, she can passively keep harassing on that Brewmother till she gets, let's say, Soul Ring. She definitely needs extra regeneration from the Soul Ring. Looks like mid lane, a lot of engagement going on, but still no kills being developed. And I think that it's going to be the trend. It's going to be difficult to kill all lanes. Mid lanes most likely it's going to happen, of course. Witch Doctor might go down if, let's say, there's a good Nova Freeze by and Clap. That should be enough physical damage to really bring down the Witch Doctor. But on the same thing, on the other end, if you get a cask and a couple of right clicks, if the cask bounces very nicely and the time walk goes in on the Crystal Maiden, she could go down very nicely as well. So it really depends on positioning. So both teams playing very passively. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, it looks like a fairly good job being done by the Prophet, just keeping the Brewmother back. Brewmother, of course, has a lot of regen under his web, so he should be fine. You can see that he's skilling his regen, he's skilling his spin web, and this is kind of the common way to build your Brewmother. You go Spiderlings and spin web, and just every time you level a spin web, of course you're going to regen a lot more under the web. So that's a good deal of his lane controlling is where all those web regen comes in right now. Nova comes on the mid lane. There's going to be a clap there and going to go on the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is going to go down for sure. Yeah, first blood goes to Shansheng. Looks like trying to do as much damage possible to the Panda. There is a immediate tango after the spell. There's a time walk in right now. Panda is going to go down, not before he drop a clap, and there's a freeze bite on him as well. Crystal Maiden might very well get a double kill. She is, I think, no, she's going to just pussy out and back off now. A little bit unfortunate. I think if she stuck around, she might have died, but trading a kill on the Void might have been good, but that was definitely the safe play, and that's fine. But unfortunately for the Panda mid lane, they're out of restoratives, and looks like they're going to send a courier coming in with a bottle. That's going to be very nice, and maybe they're going to do a little bit of bottle crawling themselves as well. On the bot lane here, looks like Gondar out of mana, actually expect against the Anti-Mage on the bot lane. Anti-Mage level 5, and Gondar very close to level 5 as well. It looks like Zoe did just pick up a mid kill on the mid lane. My apology for missing that, but that was a cask and a time walk going in, and a couple hits did do the job on the Crystal Maiden, who probably was a very low HP because Panda drank all the bottle juices. And of course, Witch Doctor being the mid lane support, doing a very good job in terms of controlling the runes, preventing a Panda to ever get close to it, and thus grabbing the rune and refilling his bottle. So Panda should be considering a little bit of bottle crawling because he definitely needs the regeneration. With the second illusion rune, he'll be doing a lot of harassment and keeping this Panda back in lane. And on top here, Mu doing a fairly good job using his spiderlings to really keep Furion back. Keep in mind that these spiderlings have a slowing effect. Of course, Furion definitely not the quickest moving hero, especially without his boot speed, so he could actually be brought down very easily with the spiderlings. So you could park your spiderlings here, and if the Furion decides to go for a pull, you just kind of ambush him like right there, and he's like, oh shoot, I gotta kind of get out of there. Of course, he could always TP out. He's not really going to die to it, but it's just a lot of annoyance to the Prophet. But you got to keep in mind that you don't want to feed too much EXP like you're doing right now. Because Prophet, I mean, he is the support. If you're going to give him free EXP, probably not the best way to do it. Crystal Maiden does have the bottle. Maybe she's going to go for the 6-minute rune. No, I think she should drop it back on the Crow. Yeah, looks like they're going to drop it back on the Crow. And the mid lane passive again, as both teams are trying to harass me. On the bot lane here, it looks like Hao might be a little bit of trouble. He does have a Ring of Health. Well, actually blinks in very offensively. We do have immediate Windwalk going in right now. Both teams just trading a lot of physical hits. And despite that he's only at, what, 200 HP, he's going to just go right in because he knows that there's no more mana on the Gondor. So there's no more burst offensive power. Meanwhile, mid lane we have a teleportation coming in right now. As trying to materialize it, looks like he is not going to do so. Void, half HP with the Voodoo Restoration. They could be healing up just a little bit here. And with the Ring of Health, he's going to be absolutely fine. So both mid lane heroes grabbing their very important laning items. Ring of Health for that Void, of course, the Magic Bottle for the Panda, to ensure that he has enough mana to fuel his usage. Meanwhile, on the laning stage here, we see Crystal Maiden pick up level 2 Brilliance Aura. And generally this is very common. We see level 2 Brilliance Aura, and then that's it. I'm going to see Bite and Nova being skilled up evenly, and looks like we're going to have a ganking attempt on Gondar, who, by the way, survived with 12 HP. Crystal Maiden just looking in for the kill. Fortunately, she's a little bit too slow to catch up. Meanwhile, here on the top lane here, we do have a gank attempt on Prophet. Prophet is going to go down. Good TP here up by Panda. Just went into this lane, just started jungling on the top lane here. And looks like they're going to transition right into the push. This was very well planned. Both of them have Soul Ring, so we're going to have massive amount of mana regeneration. And these guys going to have their entire creep wave blown down. Of course, they don't have the Ring of Basilius, so that means their creeps are not getting armor bonus under the tower. But they with the Spylings, they're actually chasing the Woodman very far back, so very strongly done here. They are going to, at the very least, force a glyph, and here comes Enigma. They're chasing the creep wave so very back. They're going to blow up the Meat Wagon, and they try to go from there. Gondar is coming in invisible, but they don't have tracks, so the extra movement speed bonus is not going to be there. Going to go straight in for Enigma. There's a TP in for the Enigma right now, level 60, so he does have the black hole. Not enough mana right yet. He just have enough right now, but it's going to get physically right-click down. Looks like East Eidolon's going to do the job, plus one more spawn Spyling. Should be cooling down right now. We're going to try his best to go into fog. Looks like successful. She is going to do so. Going to immediately turn back. Gondar now in a little bit of trouble. Is going to go invisible, and here comes the Maledict. Nicely done, and one more Janata hit should do it right now. IG out positioning the Panda team very nicely here. It looks like Faith is going to do the job. Meanwhile, the fight is still not over. Crystal Maiden ushering away the Faceless Void. 7.5 minutes in, we see 2 to 3 explosion of aggression going out here and there. But that is going to leave Anti-Mage, who is free farming on the bot lane with the Ring of Health. We haven't seen Anti-Mage a lot lately, simply because, well, in Dota 1, a lot of picks, a lot of strategy really counters Anti-Mage. And the Chinese teams don't really favor Anti-Mage too much because the metagame is just so good in terms of out-pushing him, out-team fighting. And there's many ways to deal with the Anti-Mage. But of course, this was an AP remake, so we didn't have to pick and bans. So maybe they banned a lot of Anti-Mage counters. So, you know, Panda feeling a little bit comfortable picking into Anti-Mage here. Anti-Mage is going to be going for that very standard Battle Fury build, and I'll talk about why that is probably the best build for Anti-Mage at this current time. It just gives him a lot of farming potential, but more importantly, gives him the power to push. And having the power to push is very important for a carry. And when that happens, and at the later stage of the game, I'll point it out. Meanwhile, here it looks like we have a Hasted Panic going in right now. I don't really think they could get a kill on the Windrunner, but they're going to try anyway. Here we go. There's a blink and there's clap as well. Where's the Windrunner being popped? Trying to get a little bit blocking going on. No, where's the Mono Void? Is there a Mono Void? Is a question right now. Not going to bring her down just yet. They're going to keep running it. There's a Mono Void and a blink, and they are going to bring him down. Shackle Shot not going to latch, and it looks like Hao is going to pick up the kill. Very nicely done here. Meanwhile, top tower did get successfully brought down as well, and this is the power of the Broodmother in conjunction with another pusher. Enigma, of course, going to be in position. You can see that he's going for a very... I actually like this way of playing Enigma a lot. A lot of Enigma players, you know, opting for that Blink Dagger first. But I think just going for a very tanky Enigma is not a bad way to deal with him, play him either. He's going to go into Mecha, into a Arcane Boots, And basically, that's going to give him enough utility and survivability to basically ensure him that he could literally walk in Black Hole. It's going to tank a couple of spells, especially with the help of his teammates, to slow down the enemy and whatnot. He could just walk in Black Hole. You don't always need the Blink Dagger. Of course, you do want the Blink Dagger at a much later time. But you don't need it right in the beginning. Rushing a naked Blink Dagger in the beginning generally is very, very dangerous because if you mess up the blink, you generally don't have the mana to do a follow-up, or you don't have the HP to do a follow-up. And having a very tanky Enigma build will give you both of them, which is very, very crucial. Enigma doing a fairly good job jacking some of these CSs from Furion, and Tron just being really ushered out away from the jungle. It looks like we do have the supports coming in conjunction with the Void, who does have the Chronosphere up right now. He does have the mana to do so as well. They're looking for that Enigma, but he's very quickly, so he's going to be absolutely fine. They're going to go straight in for the Broodmother. Did they have True Sight? Is the question. No, they don't have True Sight. I wonder how they saw him. So looks like he did waste a lot of time on that Faceless Void because he wasn't getting the farm on the mid lane. He was trying to set up a gank, and rightfully so, because, well, Witch Doctor was, what, level... No, he was level 5. I thought they were setting up gank because he was level 6 and had Death Ward plus Chronosphere, but I guess that was not the case, so... Meanwhile, here we have still jungling going on from the Enigma. So even though this Enigma jungling move might seem like really innocent, I think they're putting a lot of pressure to this area of the map, right? Of course, Broodmother always threatened with push, and especially in the conjunction with another pusher like Enigma, they could just kind of bear down this tower. So as Scourge, you always have to dedicate at least 1 or 2 people in this vicinity, which, it's actually not... They can't afford doing that right now because Panda's literally free farming in the mid lane, and the anti-mage is free farming in the bot lane. Actually, he's gone for Vanguard, so that's a very, very interesting build. I was expecting for a Battle Frayer because he's going to allow him to push so very much, so it's going to allow him to do a lot more farming, but he's going to go for the safe build, which actually might not be a bad choice considering that we're going to have a gank going in right now. Mu is going to get Maldex, going to break the trees with his webs, and let that low-level Maldex shouldn't be able to do it. Track is on him right now, but I think with the help of his teammates, should be able to find him. There's a Black Hole just on him right now. Unfortunately, he isn't revealed because there's no True Sight. Enigma gets shackled to the tree. There's a Sprout on him as well. It looks like Gondor taking a lot of damage. She's going to get blown up by a Shackle Shot, but... that's okay. That's okay. That was a 4v2 engagement. They only lost 1 hero. And guess what? We have 2 heroes on the mid lane pushing. Of course, keeping Void from farming. And we still have Anti-Mage being free farming in the bot lane. So you can see that even though they just lost a kill, I think the advantage still retains on the Pandas team. They just have a really nice lineup in terms of pressuring and allowing the carries to do the farming. Of course, Crystal Maiden getting level 6 as well, so that's fairly good for support. And let's see if the Scourge trying to get a gank on the Anti-Mage. Enigma says, I think I learned my lesson. Gonna go back in the jungle a little bit for now, and then just get maybe level 8, 9, or 10, and go from there. We'll have to see exactly what he's going to do. Now in the mid lane here, Void picks up Invisibility Rune. Maybe he's going to have a teammate to set up a gank. It's going to be very difficult. It looks like Panda very healthy in terms of HP pool. Maybe even with a Chronosphere and a Death Ward, they might not be able to kill him on time. Unless it's just a Maledicting question, but still, he's a very tanky. He's got a level of Drunken Brawler at the very least, couple of level of Drunken Brawler, so he's going to be absolutely fine in terms of physical damage as well. And Facebook is going to be his choice. Let's see if it's going to be going Blink Dagger. Phase after Blink Dagger, or yeah, Blink Dagger after the phase has been very, very common nowadays. I think you might actually need Blink Dagger against this team as well, because, well, Cast is very difficult to run past. Chronosphere, it's impossible to run past, so Blink Dagger will be very helpful in terms of having that extra mobility, but on the other hand, they don't really have that really intense silence. They don't really have the intense mana burn to really deal with the Panda. So he could, in theory, just walk in with a very healthy HP and mana pool and just go for the ult. We'll have to wait and see what's going to be the case. Zoe actually really staying his ground right now. Nova is going to force him to jump out, very low HP, and barely survives right now. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage at that time got a solo kill against Witch Doctor, I believe. And that they can't give away those kills to already free farming Anti-Mage. Let's check out CS 73 and 21 in 14 minutes. That is absolutely insane. He's got a couple of hero kills as well. Looks like that gank attempt will be coming in very soon. Crystal Maiden's gonna be a little bit of trouble. There's a Wrath of Nature just to make sure they get the kill. And looks like Chronosphere is gonna be right there. Death Ward gonna be dropped, and that's a combination I was talking about. 2 kills going immediately. Of course, that engagement started out as a 3v2 engagement, of course, but we have Tron TPing in with that Prophet, and that means they're gonna get a little bit bit more mobility and get a little bit more map control. That's important thing. Map control is so very vital. If, let's say, if this mid tower is down right now, I could bet you anything that this Broodmother won't be feeling as comfortable in this lane. He's going to be always a little bit, of course, Broodmother is always going to be comfortable in the lane, but he won't be as comfortable. But, you know, with this tower up, they're going to always constantly, they being Sentinel, always constantly will put a pressure on this tower, and that's going to force some of the Scourge guys to go on the bot lane. Shackle Shot is going to get missed. It looks like we have a TP in the web, immediately gets destroyed, or web destroyed the trees in mid lane. She's going to be absolutely fine. You can see that Broodmother is just almost ungankable at this point. And of course, Anti-Mage, very difficult to gank, considering the fact that he has Vanguard, Poor Man Shield, Spell Shield, and Blink, and High Armor. He's very difficult to gank as well. So what do? You try to gank mid and try to push from there, but there's a Panda ultimate there. So it's just very difficult to kill any lane, and that's the beauty of Panda's lineup here, as we see Nova and a couple of damage going on the... Oh, looks like they're going to go for the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden bite goes on. There is a Shuriken toss on her, immediately half HP, but it looks like Panda just so tanky. He's going to pop his ultimate most likely right now and go for a fight. Oh, Sentry Ward on ground right now. Sentry Ward's being fought over, and that's very crucial now that the invisibility is out from Panda. That Windwalk can be used from the IG squad. Very nicely done, but here comes Enigma from the side, flanking him right now. Does he have the black hole? Is the question. Is he going to need a black hole? I don't know. He might. Looks like Anti-Mage is going to be on cleanup duty. One more hit. It's going to do the job. There you go. With the Mono Break to get the kill here. Of course, we do have Gonda trying to get something done. He does, of course, have the True Sight. Can he go for the kill? Maybe a single Janata hit plus the Shuriken toss. They should be able to do it. Track goes. Any track? Any track bonus? Uh-oh. Tron might be in a little bit of trouble. Broodmother on the high ground is going to slow him down and get the kill here. And you can see the power of the chasing team fight in favor of the Sentinel lineup. Like I said earlier, they have very fast moving hero, although Broodmother wasn't really in that team fight. But the Panda with the phase boot, of course, the blink on the Anti-Mage, really good at chasing power. And Scourge, they were kind of just running with... It felt like they were running with the heads chopped off, like headless chickens. And they were in a little bit of trouble. And now this mid tower is down. Broodmother freely pushing the top tower. And you can see that this entire... I'm going to just go on the Scourge vision real fast. Sooner or later, we're going to have a freaking divide down this line. Here, I'm going to move the mini-map. Look at the mini-map. They're going to have an entire divide like down this. Because they don't really feel safe moving out in this kind of, I guess, first quadrant, if you guys study mathematics. Yeah, they can't really move out because the jungle is completely invaded by the entire Sentinel squad. Enigma's in there. Broodmother Spiderling's in there. And they're going to get starved and farm. Only the toughest survivors could kind of go out. And Void could only jump out because, well, he has a time walk. But still, he can't really venture too far away because they will find you and they will gank you down. So that is going to starve the Scourge farm. Of course, Broodmother is going to have his entire jungle farming like crazy. Enigma's going to be farming the jungle defensively. And meanwhile, Anti-Mage pressuring the bot lane. He is going to go for the Battle Fury afterwards. So this is a very, very safe build. And it looks like there's going to be a temp on the mid lane. There's a clap on him as well. Where's the bite? But there's a very, very good... very, very lucky backtrack here from the Faceless Void, and that's going to allow him to stay in a very decent position. But yes, Anti-Mage now with his enough really HP pool to support his DPS output with the Battle Fury, he could basically pressure the lane. And you might be saying, well, pushing across the river, isn't that very dangerous? Normally it is, but it isn't as dangerous if everyone else is doing it. Everyone else on the team is also pressuring us. We see these Pandas trying to do a little bit of damage, but I think he was just forced to use his ultimate. Yeah, probably Chronosphere was threatening imminent, and he had to just use his ultimate and should run the hell out. So that's what he did. But anyways, yeah, if you have the Broodmother pressuring on the top lane, that's going to draw at least 1 or 2 people ganking top, right? And then you have Anti-Mage pressuring the bot lane, and that's going to draw 1 or 2 people on the bot lane as well. And sooner or later, Scourge have to choose, like, do we deal with the Anti-Mage? Do we deal with the Broodmother? And no matter what they choose, they're going to lose something. You can see Anti-Mage says, okay, no one in my lane right now. It's going to just pressure something. And this is before he has a Battle Fury. Once he has a Battle Fury, goodness gracious, it's going to just be on another level. So he's going to keep on doing that. If you send your 3 people on the bot lane, no problem. He's going to survive with his very good survival build. And he's going to just blink away. And then meanwhile, on the top lane, Broodmother is going to be doing the same thing. You can see that a couple of heroes on the top lane is going to stop Broodmother. And Panda says, okay, we're going to push bot. So you can see the mobility and the pressure that they're doing. Of course, Panda always roaming in the middle lane, threatening to initiate a team fight with his ultimate. And it just really, it feels like Scourge is playing with less heroes than they really do have. And keep in mind, they have a hero that could get to anywhere and any time. But despite of that, they can't really make too much happening here. As we see Track going on Moo, but he's going to be absolutely fine. There's not enough stuns to deal with Moo, because a single cast is not going to do it. Sprout, usually good as a ganking too, is not going to do it, because he can always break the Sprout with the spawn spiraling. Looks like we're going to make a temp again here, and YYF tracking him down. Unfortunately, he right-clicked the wrong creep, so Janata right-clicked on the wrong unit, so Janata went on a creep, so that was very unfortunate here. Anti-Mage going to be farming in the jungle. Does he have the Battle Fury? He does. And does he have a Quelling Blade? Yes, he does as well. Of course, Quelling Blade in conjunction with the Battle Fury is going to give him so much farming potential. Just keep in mind that the Battle Fury will increase your farming rate by 32%, and you're cleaving that. Just do that with the math a little bit. That's just absolutely insane. I've seen a lot of players don't even get Quelling Blade right in the beginning of the game. They actually pick up Quelling Blade after they pick up a Battle Fury. Of course, I think he picked up a little bit earlier in this game, but there's always variations. But one of the most common build is you pick up Battle Fury and pick up the Quelling Blade at the exact same time, and then you farm your Quelling. You keep farming with that Quelling Blade until you get your next item. Whether it's going to be a Mantisile, whether it's going to be a Vlad and whatnot. Like that, 3-man ganks is trying to run the hell out, not going to do it. Finally, a really good Shackle Shot. They need a long duration stun to keep it in place. Cass is not going to do it. Again, Sprout's not going to do it. So the only thing you have to rely on is a Shackle Shot hitting. Unfortunately, this is not Chuan, so you can't really rely on that. And you see Anti-Mage just being so damn aggressive, keeping a Void back. Void, by the way, level 10. He has no farm. Anti-Mage at level 14 with the Vanguard Battle Fury. And you can see that right now, the chokehold is on IG, and even though there's not many team fight going on, we have small and incremental advantages being claimed up by Panda, and they're gonna just keep building on these advantages as much as they can. Let's see how good awareness Panda's Shansheng is. He was really good at dropping a lot of sentries in game number 1. Let's see if he's gonna sniff out Ganda and maybe try to gank him. Right now he's going to just stay back and keep this Anti-Mage safe from ganks, safe from farm. And Anti-Mage lasting just about every single creep. We have 20 minutes in and about 6 creep kills per minute in terms of farm. Insane amount of CS for a melee hero. But now, of course, with his Battle Fury up, he's going to do a lot more farming. So, of course, keep in mind that he has a couple neutrals as well. So he's farming like a madman. Now Gondar might be in a little bit of trouble again. Let's see how good Shansheng is with those Central Ward placement. They're going to go on. There's a track bonus, so they absolutely know Central Ward wouldn't drop down just yet. Nope. Very good patience. Realizing that the team fight's not going to break out. No, they're going to go for the Witch Doctor. This is a blink cap. He immediately goes down. Chronosphere is going to drop onto Tower. Unfortunately, on how he's going to go down for sure. That Vanguard not going to help out in the Malady damage. He's going to go down. Shackle Shot going to miss right here. And looks like Wimmer might be in a little bit of trouble. Where's the track? There is a 2-second stun going on, but there's a Sprout on the Crystal Maiden without the Tango. She is going to go down for sure. Does she? Yeah, she definitely has track, so there's no way she's going to run. And the IG wins that team fight with the help of Chronosphere. And also they bait out the Panda Ultimate, so that's a very, very decent team fight. I guess Anti-Mage might have been a little bit too aggressive with that jump and took the Maledict and then the Tower Focus, so he went down very, very quickly despite his tank build. Me on the top lane here, the Broodmother says, oh, anything happened? No big deal, gonna just keep on farming. It looks like he is gonna be going for a Oblivion Staff, which is a fairly decent choice. If you could, let's say, silence the Void or a Witch Doctor, gonna be very, very key. And he's somewhat careful because he just got ganged off earlier, but you can see that he's just farming so much right now. I really want to see his CS, but unfortunately, Observer in the wrong slot. That means we're not going to see the CS. We're going to see. I mean, he's got a whole bunch of jungling creeps. He's got a whole bunch of lane creeps, and his farm is just through the roof. I'm a little bit surprised that his Orchid is that slow, to be honest here. But he did offer Strength Treads and Planeswalker Cloak first. A lot of utility items. But they are out farming the Void for quite a bit. Anti-Mage by himself is out farming the Void. Not to mention, oh, it looks like the Shackle Shot gonna be attempted, but really good move by the Broodmother, immediately breaking the trees. So he was not Shackle. If he was Shackle like that, that would have been GG for that Broodmother. But again, you send 3 people to gank on the top lane, guess what? Your mid lane's gonna get pushed, your bot lane's gonna get pushed. And right now here, Scourge just getting outmanned at this point because the individual heroes of the Panda team is just so good at pushing, and they're just going to divide up their push here and there, and they're going to make you pick your poison. It looks like the cast going to be going on the Enigma. Enigma is going to jump out here, but looks like Yao Bai is going to go down. I don't think he has his ultimate. He doesn't, so he's going to go down. So again, a hero dying for seemingly no reason, but I think that was fine, because guess what? Anti-Mage again pressuring the bot tower, already at half HP. Top is free farming, so losing one hero is no big deal. And there we go, we do see that Orchid being finished. Just was saying, man, the Orchid seems to be a little bit late. No, he was saving a lot of gold. And he has the Orchid right now. I do believe that the Sentinel will be going for a big push right about now. With the Orchid finish, I don't think really they need to wait for the BKB. BKB is not going to be too useful against Death Ward or the Chronosphere. So I think they're going to be looking for the IG team to be a little bit out of position and go for a kill. But it looks like Gondar looking for something. There's a track on the Enigma. And Gondar, you can see that he's going for, again, a very kind of utility-based build. Django into Treads. He's opting for the Robo Magi first to get a little bit extra mana going because he's been doing a lot of roaming. Just level 11, and he's going to leave it like that. He's really looking for the Crystal Maiden, and Crystal Maiden should just... yeah, there we go. Oh no, there's going to be a bite and it's silence, but a 2-man Shackle and those casts bouncing. They're going to focus on the Brewmother. He can't really make it out there. He's going to go down. Crystal Maiden's going to go down as well. I think Sprout should be cooling down fairly soon. So is Shackle Shot. They're going to just run at with her and just chase her down. But here comes the Panda with the blink. Where's the ultimate is the question. Enigma comes in from side as well. He does have the Black Hole Windrunner. Oh no, Crystal Maiden is going to go down to the urn, I believe. Let's watch the team fight over here. Crystal Maiden is going to go down right now. We have a TP immediately going out. 40 Bounty Hunter. Anti-Mage is in the fight. And Mana Void to cancel the TP. There's a Mana Void to cancel the TP. And what seemed to be a advantageous team fight for the Scourge really got brought down because Sentinel was able to reinforce the team fight so very quickly. 2 Blink Daggers up. One, of course, on the Enigma. The other one on the Panda. Of course, a Blink up on the Anti-Mage as well. So they were able to maneuver through the team fight so very rapidly. Unfortunately for the CM and the Brewmother, they did eventually get brought down, but the team fight again in favor of Panda because they successfully ticked off the top tower, and the mid tower precariously lower HP. Void going for a deny right now. Let's see if any offensive blink to go in. Nope. And luckily for Zoe, they did get the deny off, but it doesn't really matter too much. At this point, the extra gold that you get from tower isn't the big deal. The big deal is the map control, because if you look at the other side of the map, every tier 1 towers up for the Scourge team, and they're gonna look, they haven't even been really touched. And right now, after Anti-Mage repelled the spot push, and after the, of course, these guys on the mid here is going to push the mid a little bit, they're going to go for the Roshan fight, because right now Scourge has no more exterior towers to TP into a Roshan engagement, and Sentinel towers are actually closer to the Roche pit, or at least they're fairly close. So Sentinel is just taking a huge lead in this game, and I'm not too sure whether Scourge should come back from this. Now, obviously, they do have very good team fight potential. If you get a 2-man Shackle Shot in team fight, if you get a 2-3-man Chronosphere, anything could turn around, especially when you have high DPS spells such as Witch Doctor, Death Ward, shooting out in the background. So it can happen. It just really depends on the Panda team getting out of position and making positional mistake, which they are prone to do. If you watch game number 1, IG kind of just hardcore out position Panda team time and time after again. So don't count out IG yet, because they are one of the best Chinese teams for a reason. You don't ever want to underestimate the farming potential of Zoe. But right now, if you look at the map control, I'm going to go to Sentinel Vision right now. They see everything. Of course, Witch Doctor doing a very good job, doing some counter warding, trying to limit a site here. So very good, nicely done. Really securing their own map control back. But still, if you go to Scourge Vision, they are just absolutely scared. They don't see anything. I mean, all they have is freaking sentry wards on the ground. This one not seeing as much right now. And looks like we're going to see a couple heroes. Void got to be very careful, because despite the fact that he has Strength Treads and, of course, Backtrack, he's only sitting at 100 or 1150 HP, so he's got to be very careful. And they're moving around the map completely blind. And well, looks like Scourge is going to be going for that big push as we were expecting. And Blink Dagger is up on the Pandoran Brewmaster. Of course, his ultimate is up for it as well. Going to drop off a Drunken Haze. Is that what it's called? On the Void, and that's just so annoying. There's a clap just gonna power down this ult. Yeah, they're gonna just power down this tower. Don't even care, man. Just gonna use the ultimate for that 6-second Cyclone. And are they gonna try to go for a chain stun? There's a silence and a boulder toss, and Witch Doctor goes down. Even if the Chronosphere drops down, they're gonna lose a very reliable DPS. Again, another 6-second Cyclone. By the way, that Cyclone has an 8 seconds cooldown. It's just absolutely insane. Look at how long they're removing Void from the team fight. He's gonna jump in right now. Chronosphere hits, well, hits 1, but wow, that was one of the worst Chronosphere I've ever seen here. Sprout's going to get 2 hero, but it don't matter right now. Silence goes on. Zoe's going to go down. There's a Blink Dagger Black Hole just to get 1 hero, man. There's ultimates. They're not really on key. Shackle Shot is going to get Enigma. He's probably going to go down, but at what cost? Void it go down already. He doesn't have the buyback. This spot Rex is going to just get muscled down. And the advantage of having such high gold, high hero levels. They literally walked in with Panda Ultimate and just popped it for the tower, and that was all they need. Another Orchid Silence. Man, this Orchid is just paying for its dividends here, because that was one single team fight, 3 hero getting Orchided, 3 hero dead, top racks, and that's it. Chuan meanwhile trying to do some shenanigans, trying to get, at the very least, you know, he can't really defend by himself. So at the very least went for a tower push, tower trade, I guess, if you want to call that a trade. But no, the ruthless Panda team says, we're going to protect every single tier 1 tower. It's not going to give you any avenue into a comeback, because every single tier 1 tower, you know, it's like 250 gold for the entire team. So don't give them that advantage. Keep Strangle holding them. And right now, after that bot is pushed, you can see that Sentinel doing a very good job regaining the map control on the top and mid lane and keep pushing in. So now they could definitely go for the Roshan again if they want to do so. They don't really need to do so anyways. Or they could go for the push. Manta Style is up on the Anti-Mage, so even more tower pushing capability. Anti-Mage plus a silence on the Orchid, he could blink in, pop the Manta, and whoever's just silent is just dead. It's just not, he could kill that quickly. He has such a high level advantage. He's level 19. Let's compare the level here. 19, 13, 14, 16 to what? Highest is 15. And that's it. And then 13 on Zoe. That's just a world of difference when it comes to level. These illusions is going to just usher away the Prophet. And very sad for him. And Prophet going for a axe stick. And now normally I would say, like, what the hell is this? Like, normally you say, oh man, you need some disables, you need a 4-staff, you need some positional advantage. But right now they need creep advantage. They need momentum. If they don't have the map control, let's say if you imagine the creep wave like right here, and right there, they can come back in the long run by out farming. Like if you could secure yourself your own jungle and secure yourself the Roshan advantage, a Scourge, you can come back from this huge deficit. Only if you have the creep equilibrium on your side, and you know, pushing on the other side, you don't get ganked, etc., etc. So we see a team fight breaking out here, and it looks like they're gonna just focus on Wildwave. Shackle Shot is gonna be on a Chronosphere on 2 hero, and there's a cast. Where's the Maledict Death Ward? It's gonna be dropped. Unfortunately, there's the no. Where's the Death? No, he get brought down so very quickly. Ultimate is gonna drop on the Panda. He just survived to the end, and there's a Boulder Toss, and that Void's gonna get absolutely focused down by Anti-Mates. Look at how easy it was to get the focus down, and that was the game. So GG's gonna be called. Really good GG. And wow, Panda, very convincing victory after that game 1 kind of blowout on the, well, game 1 wasn't really a blowout, but this was a blowout. So now the series is even 1-1, and we're moving to game number 3. But I want to finish before we exit the game. I want to talk about Chuan's choice here. I mean, 4-staff might have been better, Eel Scepter might have been better, but what he was hoping for is after he finishes Axe Scepter, he could just Wrath of Nature once and all 3 waves just push like crazy. And again, once you push like crazy, you gain your jungle back. You gain that map control back. And once you get the back, you get a little bit more farm, you get more safety zone and whatnot. The reason that Sentinel won this game as hard as they did is because they were dominating the map control. After they pushed out this tier 1 tower, the jungle was there. Literally, the jungle was there. Enigma and Broodmother was doing so much work there, and soon after they pushed down the tier 2 tower over here and the tier 1 tower over here, and sooner or later, like, the spread of Sentinel influence is just like strangling the Scourge. So this game was very much so indicative of why these 2 heroes are so strong together. They just pushed, grabbed map control, and that was it. No looking back. So I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I will be bringing you guys game 3 in the nearby future, and as always, this is Luminous signing off. See you guys.